Hello everyone, and welcome to Mystic Whisper, your guide to the mystical and the magical. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most profound and powerful teachings in spiritual philosophy, the Law of One. If you've never heard of it before, prepare to have your perspective on life completely transformed. The Law of One isn't just an abstract spiritual concept. It's a fundamental understanding of the universe that can change the way you perceive yourself, the world, and the nature of existence. Once you grasp this law and begin applying its wisdom in your life, you can elevate your consciousness and start manifesting a reality that aligns with your highest potential. At its core, the Law of One teaches us that everything in the universe is interconnected. Every living being, every atom, every thought, and every emotion are all part of a unified field of consciousness. There is no real separation between you and the rest of the cosmos. You, me, the stars, the oceans, and the very fabric of space-time are all expressions of one infinite intelligence, often referred to as the Creator or Source. In this video, we're going to explore what the Law of One really means, how this universal principle can transform your understanding of reality, and most importantly, how you can apply it in your daily life to elevate your vibration, awaken your consciousness, and start living in alignment with your true purpose. In essence, the Law of One is the understanding that all is one, and one is all. This teaching reveals that beneath the surface of our perceived individuality lies a universal truth: we are all connected. Every being, every object, and every experience is part of the same underlying oneness. While we often feel separated by our bodies, thoughts, and emotions, the Law of One teaches that this sense of separation is merely an illusion created by our limited perception. The Law of One is a concept most prominently introduced through a series of channeled works known as the Ra material, which was brought into public awareness in the 1980s. According to these teachings, everything in existence is a manifestation of the one infinite Creator, and every aspect of life, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy, is a way for the Creator to experience itself. You too are an expression of this infinite intelligence, and through your unique experiences, the universe expands and evolves. One of the most important aspects of the Law of One is that it goes beyond the typical dualistic thinking of good versus bad, light versus dark, or right versus wrong. The Law of One teaches that all experiences, whether positive or negative, are part of the same grand process of growth and evolution. Even challenges and hardships are seen as opportunities for learning and spiritual expansion. When we begin to understand that every event in our lives is connected to this larger process, we stop resisting life's difficulties and start seeing them as part of our soul's journey toward higher consciousness. The Law of One also speaks about the evolutionary path of consciousness through what are known as densities, or levels of awareness. We'll explore these densities later, but essentially, each density represents a different stage of spiritual development, with each soul moving through these stages over countless lifetimes. The ultimate goal is to reach a state of full unity and return to the one infinite Creator, from which we all originated. Understanding the Law of One is not just a philosophical exercise, it can have a profound impact on how you live your life and perceive reality. When you fully integrate this concept into your consciousness, your entire perspective on existence begins to shift. You start to realize that the way you think, feel, and interact with the world is deeply interconnected with the experiences you attract into your life. One of the most transformative aspects of the Law of One is the realization that separation is an illusion. Most of us go through life believing that we are separate from others, that we are distinct individuals isolated in our own thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This belief in separation can lead to feelings of loneliness, disconnection, and competition. However, when you truly understand the law of one, you begin to see that every person you encounter, every situation you experience, is simply another aspect of yourself. This shift in perspective changes how you relate to others. You begin to see others as reflections of yourself, and you approach your interactions with greater empathy, compassion, and love. When you realize that we are all part of the same unified consciousness, the need for judgment, comparison, and conflict starts to fade away. Instead, you recognize that we are all on the same journey, each playing a role in the grand tapestry of existence. Another powerful effect of aligning with the law of one is that you naturally begin to shift from fear-based thinking to love-based consciousness. Fear arises from the belief in separation, the fear of loss, failure, rejection, or the unknown. When you view the world through the lens of separation, it's easy to fall into patterns of fear, scarcity, and self-protection. But when you embrace the law of one, you begin to understand that fear is an illusion rooted in the false idea that we are isolated individuals. The law of one teaches that love is the highest and most fundamental vibration in the universe. Love is the force that binds all things together. When you recognize that everything in existence is connected through love, you start to see life's challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for growth. You start responding to situations with love, kindness, and acceptance, knowing that every experience is part of the Creator's plan for your soul's evolution. This shift from fear to love creates a profound inner peace and allows you to live from a place of harmony rather than resistance. The law of one also reveals to us the truth of our infinite nature. You are not just a physical being living in a material world, you are an eternal soul, an expression of infinite consciousness. The challenges, successes, and experiences you have in this lifetime are just one chapter in the vast journey of your soul. When you understand this, you start to see life's obstacles from a higher perspective. Rather than being overwhelmed by temporary difficulties, you realize that they are part of your soul's growth and expansion. This knowledge can empower you to move through life with greater confidence and purpose. You are not limited by your current circumstances. You are a being of infinite potential, capable of evolving beyond any limitations. Every experience you encounter, whether joyful or painful, is a step in your soul's journey toward greater understanding, wisdom, and unity with the Creator. By embracing your infinite nature, you release the fear of failure, knowing that every moment is an opportunity for growth and transformation. When you internalize the law of one, you start to realize that you are not just a passive observer of reality, you are a conscious creator. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape the reality around you. By aligning with the law of one, you become more aware of the power you have to influence your life's direction. When you focus on unity, love, and higher consciousness, you attract experiences that reflect these qualities into your life. On the other hand, when you focus on fear, separation, and scarcity, you create more of the same. The law of one teaches us that our inner state directly impacts our external reality. This means that by raising your vibration and living in alignment with love and unity, you can manifest a reality that reflects your highest aspirations. You become a co-creator with the universe, consciously shaping your experiences to align with your soul's purpose. The more you embody the principles of the law of one, the more you attract abundance, joy, and harmony into your life. In the Law of One teachings, consciousness evolves through different stages, or densities, which represent various levels of spiritual awareness. These densities provide a roadmap for the soul's journey of growth and evolution. Right now, most of humanity is experiencing the third density, which is characterized by self-awareness, the development of the ego, and the experience of separation. In this density, we are learning to navigate the complexities of individuality and choice, often struggling with duality, the perception of good versus bad, light versus dark. However, humanity is currently undergoing a massive spiritual shift. We are transitioning from the third density into the fourth density, which is the density of love and understanding. This shift is part of a larger cosmic process of evolution, where souls are given the opportunity to ascend to higher levels of consciousness. In the fourth density, love becomes the primary vibration, and we begin to move beyond the limitations of ego and separation. We start to see ourselves as interconnected beings, capable of living in harmony and unity with others. The journey through densities is not linear or fixed in time. Each soul progresses through these stages at its own pace, based on the lessons it needs to learn. Some individuals may be further along in their evolution, while others are just beginning their journey. The beauty of the Law of One is that it teaches us that there is no judgment in this process. Every soul is exactly where it needs to be for its own growth and learning. Ultimately, the goal of this evolutionary journey is to return to the source, to reunite with the one infinite creator. As we move through the densities, we gain deeper understanding, greater love, and a more profound connection to the divine. The Law of One reminds us that each step of this journey is sacred. No matter where you are on your path, you are always moving closer to the truth of oneness and unity. Now that we've explored the profound implications of the Law of One, let's talk about how you can apply this wisdom in your everyday life. Here are some practical ways to start living in alignment with the Law of One. Practice unity consciousness. The first and most important step in applying the Law of One is to begin practicing unity consciousness. This means making a conscious effort to see and experience the oneness in everything around you. Instead of viewing people, events, and situations through the lens of separation, start seeing them as reflections of the one infinite creator. Whether you're interacting with a loved one, a stranger, or even someone you don't particularly like, remind yourself that they are all part of the same consciousness as you. In practice, this might mean letting go of judgments and negative assumptions about others. See the divinity in everyone, even those who challenge you. When you begin to view others as part of the same whole, you naturally cultivate more empathy, understanding, and compassion. This shift in perspective allows you to connect with others on a deeper level and fosters more harmonious relationships. It also helps you to move beyond feelings of loneliness or isolation, as you realize that you are never truly separate from the rest of existence. Choose love over fear. The Law of One teaches that love is the highest vibration and the most fundamental force in the universe. To align with the Law of One, it's essential to choose love over fear in your daily life. This can be easier said than done, especially in challenging situations. But remember that fear arises from the illusion of separation, while love is the energy of unity. Whenever you face a difficult situation, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, am I reacting from a place of fear or a place of love? Choosing love doesn't mean avoiding conflict or denying difficult emotions. It means responding with kindness, understanding, and compassion, even in the face of adversity. Love is not just an emotion, it's a state of being. When you choose love, you align with the highest truth of the universe, that everything is interconnected, and we are all part of the same divine energy. This choice not only elevates your own vibration, but it also positively impacts those around you and contributes to the collective shift in consciousness. Meditate on oneness. A powerful way to integrate the law of one into your life is through meditation on oneness. Take time each day to sit in stillness and consciously connect with the unity of all things. In your meditation, visualize yourself as part of the vast web of existence, with energy flowing through you and connecting you to every being, every star, every planet in the universe. Imagine that you are a drop in the ocean of consciousness, yet also the entire ocean itself. As you meditate, feel the energy of love, peace, and unity fill your being. This practice will help you to anchor the vibration of oneness in your consciousness, making it easier to live from a place of love and compassion in your daily interactions. Over time, you'll begin to feel more connected to the world around you, and you'll develop a deeper sense of inner peace and purpose. Serve others selflessly. In the Law of One teachings, service to others is one of the most powerful ways to align with higher consciousness. When you serve others, you are serving the whole. Acts of kindness, generosity, and compassion are ways of recognizing the oneness in everyone you meet. The more you give from a place of love and selflessness, the more you raise your vibration and contribute to the collective evolution of humanity. Serving others doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Simple acts of kindness, like offering a smile, helping someone in need, or listening with empathy, can have a profound impact. The intention behind your actions is what matters most. When you approach life with the mindset of being in service to others, you align yourself with the flow of love and unity that governs the universe. This not only benefits those around you but also deepens your own spiritual growth. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found value in this message, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others who are ready to awaken to the truth of oneness, and subscribe for more content on spiritual growth and higher consciousness. Let me know in the comments how the Law of One has impacted your life, or if you're just beginning your journey of understanding this universal truth. Remember, we are all connected, and you have the power to transform your reality through love, unity, and conscious creation.